ever made a new friend and everything in your life just went awry? Or have you ever started a business with someone and then all your other businesses fail? How about if you've ever started a new relationship with someone and then your life goes to pot? If this sounds familiar or resonates, keep watching. All of these instances can be explained by transference of spirits. So what is a transference of spirits? A transference of spirits is when demonic forces or spirits that are attached to one individual transfers to another individual through association or covenantal ties. Now, we've already covered what a covenant is in my previous video. So let's dig a little deeper about transference of spirits through association. The Bible mentions that bad company corrupts good character. So if we are in company of people who have demonic spirits that are attached to them, there is a likelihood that these spirits can be transferred onto us. Now, if this person that is in our company is a hidden enemy, the likelihood of that transference becomes greater. I'll share a personal testimony. I used to have this friend that bad things just always seemed to happen to her. If she went to the bank, her card would get eaten by the ATM machine. She would constantly twist her ankle when going up and down the stairs. If we're on vacation, her shoe strap will burst, or she would lose her wallet, or she would lose her ID, or if she was going through the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant, they would spill coffee on her. It was just always a constant occurrence of bad things. So as I was meditating one day, the Lord told me to disconnect myself from this girl. And of course, I was dragging my feet because I knew that it wasn't going to blow over well if I have that sit-down talk about how our friendship is not going the way that it's supposed to. So he gave me a dream. In this dream, she came into my room and sat on my bed. And as she sat on my bed, she was watching Beyonce on the TV. And I was not interested in watching Beyonce perform, so I told her to go and watch it in the living room. So she insisted on being in my room and watching the performance on TV. Now, as she was watching the TV, I looked at her sweater, and she was wearing this pink hoodie sweater, and it was covered in worms. And I said to her, "Your sweater have worms on it." And so she was so enchanted and enthralled in the performance on the TV, it took several times for me to get her attention, for her to see that there was worms on her. And so she started to pick the worms off of her sweater and put it on my bed. And so I got upset and I said, "Do not put the worms on my bed because you are going to infect me." And that's when I heard a voice say, "If you continue in this friendship with her, this too will be your fate." Well, intrinsic, what is the significance of that dream? I'm glad you asked. The significance of that dream is the worms. The worms is what the Lord was showing me. In the spiritual realm, she was covered in worms, and that manifested in the physical realm as being haphazard, a series of unfortunate events. That is not normal. If someone in your life is constantly having bad luck, constantly going through the motions, it's on a constant basis, this is spiritual. So what does the Bible tell us about worms? Worms are a representative of decay. Worms, in Joel 2:25, "I will restore the years that the palmer worm, the cankerworm, the caterpillar, and the locust have eaten away." See, these worms are eating away at blessings. What is the absence of blessings? Curses. So being in her company started to transfer these curses to me. What did that look like in the physical realm? My finances started to suffer. I started to have health issues. I started to have problems at work. It was just a constant battle for me. The minute that I separated myself from her, my life has been better. Much, much better. Now, while the Bible does not explicitly mention transference of spirits, you can find an example of this when Jesus transferred the legion of demons into the herd of pigs. Transference of spirits is not all bad. There have been instances where good things have happened. When Joseph inhabited the house of Potiphar, Potiphar was blessed tremendously because of Joseph's presence. So how can we avoid transference of spirits? By testing the fruits of the Spirit. Testing the fruit of every person that comes into our lives. Some people come into our lives to bring blessings, and some people come into our lives to block our destiny and to distract and remove us from the presence of God.